Here are 5 implications of the COVID-19 virus from the perspective of a motoring journalist. Hello and welcome to A Tribe Called Cars. My name is Ben Griffin and today we interrupt our usual schedule of car reviews, racing games and vlogging about the motoring industry. Now the reason is because we're going to have a little chat about the coronavirus 19 and what it means for the car industry. COVID-19, as it's also known, is causing worldwide havoc. And I'm not just talking about toilet roll, which has become such a desirable currency that people are calling it buttcoin. Anyway, things are bad for everyone, but I'm not a scientist or a virologist or prime minister, so I'm not going to tell you to wash your hands and stay inside to enjoy your new, lower resolution Netflix. But I will now list 5 things the car industry will see happen in light of the coronavirus, on the off chance, of course, that you might find it interesting. Obviously, non-essential travel is either frowned upon, in the case of the UK, or banned in other parts of the world, so it's no wonder that all car press trips have been cancelled. In fact, the 2020 Kia Soul EV drive I did the other day was actually meant to be in South Korea. That means magazines such as Autocar and Evo will have fewer cars to fill their pages. Not necessarily an issue this month perhaps, but certainly an issue over the 12-week turnaround time the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said we will need to see the coronavirus under control. Now it isn't just events, it's also access to press fleets. Now motoring journalists and influencers alike use press fleets to test a car for a slightly longer basis in the UK, usually after a launch has been and gone, but not always. Sadly, I know that most, if not all manufacturers are already debating whether running a fleet is considered essential. On the one hand, magazine staff and freelancers need to write about something. No car reviews, no money, basically, and people need to feed their families. In that sense, it's essential to keep press fleets going, but it does put the fleet staff at risk, and that could spread the virus more than it already has been. I know already that one of BMW's press fleet workers is off sick with the coronavirus, and another one is off suspected of having it. These cannot be the only cases in the car industry. Of course, if the UK government enforces a mandatory lockdown, as seen in Italy, Spain and France, then there will be no need for manufacturers to decide what to do. If there isn't a lockdown, however, then it will be at the discretion of each manufacturer. So who knows exactly what cars people will be able to drive or not. Bentley was one of the first manufacturers to announce it had suspended car production. BMW, Honda, Jaguar Land Rover and Toyota have since followed suit, and others with manufacturing plants in the UK are likely to follow. What does this mean? Well, it means anyone who has ordered a car will at best have to wait longer for it to arrive. At worst, their order will be cancelled. I've also read that new orders for cars are being rejected because simply they don't know if and when they'll be able to fulfill that demand. Of course, with fewer car sales going on, that means less money made, and that means the industry will be under even greater strain. Factor in that diesel sales have plummeted and people will obviously be more worried about money, and obviously 2020 is going to be one of the worst years for the car industry. And that's even if everything blows over in, say, a month, and that seems unlikely. Some have argued the extra home time could actually give consumers more time to research a future car purchase, which is true. YouTube views, for instance, are going to go up, people are at home pretending to work and all that stuff. But that actually only works if they can buy something, and if there's no manufacturing, well, there's nothing to buy. And of course, if they're worried about money, it's the second biggest purchase that most people make. So how important do you think buying a car is going to be when people are worried about buying food? Now this could all be a bit of an exaggeration, but there are fears the UK car industry may never actually recover. That, if true, is quite scary for anyone who works in the business, whether that's in a factory, a dealership, or head office. As you may have already seen, Formula 1 races have been cancelled. The TT on the Isle of Man, cancelled. Rally events, cancelled. Basically anything where large amounts of people have to gather have been cancelled. So if you're expecting motorsport action, 2020 will be annoyingly pedestrian. Fortunately though, there is a lot of advertising money at stake. So for instance, Formula 1 is using the downtime to do virtual races. Now this will be a big boost to esports and at least give us something to watch while we eat all that excess pasta. Not quite a replacement for the real thing, but at least it's something. Given that car YouTubers rely on car access and flights, you're going to see a lot of different content from the likes of Mr. JWW, Seen Through Glass and Supercars of London. In fact, Shmee150 has already announced that his adventures for this year are currently on hold. That will force car YouTubers to diversify into other content. Racing games seem the most likely when you consider the audience crossover between real cars and digital ones. And of course, you don't need to travel very far to play Xbox, just from your bedroom to your lounge or whatever. Of course, there are other options, so it's going to be interesting to see what car YouTubers or any YouTubers that are reliant on travel are going to do for the short term and potentially the mid to long term. And the fifth and final point is that fuel sales will drop. The severity of consumers being stuck at home, whether forced or not, is a nightmare scenario for airlines, pubs, restaurants, and basically any small, medium or large business, except perhaps one that makes hand sanitizer, toilet roll, or face masks, not the skincare type that is. It also means fewer people will be on the roads, which is great for reducing traffic congestion, but the knock-on effects will be less petrol being bought. Already the price of crude oil has dropped, which has seen billions in value being taken off big oil companies. Now some of you will think, well, it doesn't matter, they were making a fortune anyway. How does it affect me? Well, given the fact that oil rig workers are coming down with the coronavirus, that means production could be reduced. Obviously, if you have fewer people to do a job, it's going to be harder to maintain the current production level. Now, if more and more get sick, then it means there could be fuel shortages getting to the pump, and therefore you might not be able to even buy any. So even if you're still allowed to go outdoors and drive where you want, you might not actually have the fuel to do it. Admittedly, that is a very extreme scenario. A slightly more positive but smaller one is the fact that we may see a price correction at the pump. In other words, you would be able to buy fuel and it will be cheaper. Every cloud, hey?